welcome to class today. So today's another one of the gentle yoga sort of series. So this one's going to be working a little bit more on strength. Today we're going to be working with a stretchy band, so a TheraBand. If you don't have one of these, that's totally fine. You can do everything without it, or you can have a pair of light hand weights. You can use a towel as resistance. But if you want one of these, go ask your local physio, or you can pick them up at like a sports store or whatever. So have that handy if you've got it. Find yourself in a comfortable seat, so sit yourself on a blanket or a towel, or come lie down, whatever you need to do to make yourself comfy. And then close your eyes, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, and we'll start by taking a few nice deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the nose. And while you sit here and tap into your breath, I want you to think of a string drawing you up through the crown of your head, elongating through the spine. Feel the head over the shoulders, a gentle tuck of the chin, and then feel the tension releasing from the shoulders as they glide down your spine. So don't jam them together, they're just sitting softly on your rib cage. And then feel the knees starting to descend towards the floor as the hips open up. And take 2 more breaths here. And then open up through the eyes. Take your band and you're going to anchor your left hand down on the floor, and then you're going to start to reach the right arm up and then bring it over towards the right. That makes sense. And then start to draw it down just till you feel a bit of resistance on the arm. And then as you inhale, you're going to start to side bend over to the left, maybe taking that left hand out to the side a little bit more, feeling the stretch. And then as you exhale, draw it back up. So this time if you move your hand out, you're not going to come as upright with your torso. I'm going to do 4 more like that. So slowly control the descent down. Use the band as a little bit of resistance to increase the stretch, but you're also working the muscle on the way down to control that movement. And as you come up, you should feel the side body start to engage, the muscles underneath the arm, in the side of the waist. And if as you move here, you can go a little bit deeper and walk that hand a little bit further away from you, feel free to do so. We've got 1 more here. And then bring it up through the center. Take the right hand to the side, start quite close, and then inhale, sweep that left arm all the way over to the left. And then bring it all the way back over to the right, crawling the right hand out to your comfortable distance, keeping the left hip bone grounded. Inhale, reach the arm over. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to open. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to open. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, bring yourself to center. Lean back on the hands, cross the legs in the other direction. And then take your band in front of you. So if you double over the band, you'll have more resistance. So take it to the resistance that best suits you. Take your hands about shoulder distance apart and you're gently pulling apart on the band. And what you should feel is these muscles on the outside edges of your shoulders start to engage. Hold here for a couple more breaths and see if you can get the shoulders, the muscles at the top of the shoulders to relax away from the ears. So we don't want to do this. We want to think of these muscles on the outsides of the arms working. And then on your next inhale, you're going to start to raise the arms all the way up. And you're only going to come up so far as that you can keep the control between your ribs and your hips. So if you start to puff the chest out, you've gone too far. Just come to the point where you feel you've reached your edge. And then as you exhale, start to come down. Keep gently pulling out on the band. And we're just going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling, slowly reaching up, pulling apart, thinking long through the arms. And then starting to bring it back down. And we've got one more here. Should feel the muscles between the shoulder blades starting to work. The muscles on the tops of the arms and around the shoulders definitely working. But I don't want you to feel the muscles around your neck and your upper shoulders tensing. And then slowly release. Roll over the shins. Come onto all fours. You can just have the band at the front of the mat. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, reach the sternum forward. And then exhale, lead with the tailbone. So think of the tailbone rounding, the lower back rounding, then the shoulder blades coming apart, and last, drop the head. And then reverse the movement. So start to lead with the crown of the head. Feel the upper back start to sink towards the floor. Then the middle, lower, and last comes the tailbone. 2 more like that, just undulating through the spine. Opening up any areas of stagnation. And then come back to center. Take the band underneath the right hand. And again, the shorter the band is, the more resistance you're going to have. Take the band underneath the right hand, and as you inhale, you're going to sweep the left arm up towards the ceiling. Try and keep the wrist in a neutral position, so don't let the wrist do anything floppy. Try and keep the fist in line with the arm. Exhale, you're going to sweep the arm all the way under the right, reach it towards the right side of the room. Inhale, reach it up towards the ceiling. Exhale it through. And then one more like that. Inhale. Exhale. And then ground down through the left hand, taking as much band as you need in the right. Inhale, sweep that right arm to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale. Exhale. And one more like that. Inhale. Exhale. And then bring the hands back to the mat. And before we start to make our way up, we're just going to take a brief child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch, bring the knees wide, sit the hips back towards the heels any amount, and start to walk the hands forward. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, let the chest, the forehead sink towards the mat. As you sink the hips back to the heels. And then start to make your way up, and we'll take it into downward facing dog. So have the hands forwards of the shoulders, just wider than shoulder distance. Tuck through the toes, and then keep the knees bent generously as you start to send the hips towards the ceiling. So I want you to think of getting as much length between the crown of the head and the tailbone as you can, and then the legs come last. So keep the length in the spine and straighten the legs as much as you can. If that means they're super bent, that's fine. You want to go more for the length in the spine. We'll hold here for 2 more breaths, strongly grounding through the arms, leaving space between the shoulders and the neck, maybe nodding and shaking the head. And then look towards the hands. Slowly start to walk your feet up towards your hands, bending the knees as much as you need to. And then just taking a gentle forward fold, bending through the knees, taking opposite hand to opposite elbow, and just swaying side to side, opening up the lower back, bending opposite knees, opening up the hamstrings. And then take your strap, as much resistance as you would like. You're going to take it again just wider than shoulder distance. Slowly start to roll yourself up to standing, stacking the spine. Knees stay very bent. And the head and the chin will come last. And then you're going to take that band all the way up. Continue that upward movement. And then once you're at the top of your movement, as you exhale, you're just going to draw the band down behind the head, keeping the elbows bent so you're in a kind of a cactus position. Inhale, take those arms back up overhead. And then as you exhale, I want you to think of curling over as if there's a bar in the middle of the room, and you're thinking of scooping your body over it, hollowing out. And then bending all the way forward, bending the knees. Rolling yourself back up. So think the tailbone dropping to the floor as you stack the spine all the way to standing. And then bring some tension into the band, bringing it all the way overhead, maybe following it with your gaze. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, drawing it down behind the shoulders. Inhale, slowly release. So the slower you go, the more you have to control the band, the stronger you get. And then think of rolling yourself over that bar. If there's a barbed wire fence that you're trying to dive over, and then start to bend the knees as you come down to the floor. And then bend the knees generously. Run the fingers up the shins as you drop the tailbone first. And then stack the spine, gentle drawing in of the belly. Start to reach the hands forward, pulling on the band. And then on your next exhale, pull it down behind the head. Slowly release it to the top. And then we're just going to go one more like that. So one more time, round yourself forward. And then stacking the spine to come up. Reaching the band out in front of you. And then pulling it behind the head. Slowly release to the ceiling. And then exhale and bring it down in front of you. Beautiful. So for this one, you're going to want to have the band fairly loose and quite long. So you're going to start with the hands out in front of you. Have a little bit of a slack in through the band. The left hand's going to stay forward. Keep your hips facing forward. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to open out towards the right, twisting the spine. So you might have to loosen off the band a little bit. And twisting back as far as you can without turning the hips. And then inhale yourself slowly back to center. Bring the right arm in front of the shoulder, and then as you exhale, start to rotate yourself out towards the left. Exhale, slowly bring yourself back to center. And then if you want to challenge yourself, you make the band a little bit shorter. Keep the left arm in front of its shoulder. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Right arm forward. Exhale, left. And again, try to keep neutral through that wrist, so don't let the wrist and the fingers come back towards the forearm. Try and keep a nice long straight line. Your wrist will often try and compensate for whatever your shoulder can't do. So if you're weaker in through the rotator cuff, the muscles that help to control the shoulder, your wrist will try and compensate for that. And we're just going to take one more in each direction. So exhale to the right. And like I said at the start, you can always do all of this without the band. So if the band gets to be too much, that's fine. You can always ditch it at any point. And come to the top of your mat. You take the band behind you. Have it about shoulder, just wider than hips distance. Inhale, the collarbones wide. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to fold forward, gently pulling that band apart as you bring the arms up and overhead. Take as much of a bend in through the knees as you need to. You should feel a really nice stretch in through the shoulders. And then as you inhale, you're going to lead with the sternum. So think of nice long spine, come all the way up. And then exhale, start to bring it forward as the arms come up and overhead, gently pulling that band apart. Inhale, lead with the chest to come forward. We're going to do two more of those. We're kind of working in fours today. So it should feel really nice. If you're really tight like me through the front of the shoulders, you should be feeling a really big stretch through the front of the shoulders as you come down. The bonus with pulling against the stretchy band is that you're also activating the muscles around the shoulders to strengthen. And last one, make your way all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Keep your stretchy band in hand. Bring yourself to the front of the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step your right leg back. And you can either stay here with the knee lifted, or you can exhale, drop the knee. Your next inhale is going to raise you up either to a crescent lunge with the knee lifted, or exactly the same with the knee down on the floor. Take your band just wider than hips distance. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, just like you did at the start, draw the elbows down. Try and draw it a little bit wider this time so it's not so much of a cactus, so much as a W. Inhale, overhead. And then this time you're going to reach your arms forward at about a 45-degree angle. If that's too much, just stay upright. Inhale, upright. Exhale, draw it down. We're doing two more. Inhale, reach it forward to the 45. Keep that outward pressure on the band. Inhale. This time as you exhale, if you want to up the ante, you can always drop the back knee as you draw the elbows down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come all the way to the floor. Step the right leg forward. Give the left leg a little bit of a shake out. Inhale, reach the sternum forward, coming onto the fingertips or the shins. Exhale to fold. And then this time, take the left leg back as you inhale. Exhale, maybe drop the knee or stay. Inhale, wherever you are, raise the arms up overhead, bend just wider than the shoulders. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the elbows down. Inhale. Exhale, hinge the torso forward. So if you're on the knee, that's going to look more like this. Inhale yourself back up. Exhale, draw the band down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, option to dip the knee. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take it all the way down. Step the left leg forward. Inhale, come into your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Keep that band with you as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Make sure you've got enough room in front of you. We're going to come into chair pose, so keep the feet hips distance apart. You can always actually sit on a chair if you need to. Take the band, again, just a little bit wider than the shoulders. And then as you inhale, you're going to start by just sinking the hips back. Take a peek down, make sure the weight is in the heels and you can see your toes. And then start by just taking the hands to shoulder height. And this might be where you stay. If you want a little bit more resistance on your band, again, double it up, more than fine. And if you want less, ditch the band altogether. So you might stay here, just pulling the band apart, or you might start to raise your arms up on an inhale, only so far that you don't just hunch the shoulders into the ears. So what you're going to feel as you raise up and you're pulling apart is you're going to feel your shoulder blades moving on your back. And it might feel a little bit clunky. You just want to try and smooth that out. Wherever you are, staying still, raising, lowering. We're going to stay for 3 more breaths. Using your inhales to maybe reach that band a little bit higher. And your exhales to slowly control it back down. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. Lengthen through the lower back. And then exhale, fold it all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left leg back. Drop the back heel so that your foot is slightly turned in towards the front of your mat. Your front heel intersects your back arch. And then inhale, cartwheel yourself up to warrior 2. And then from here we're going to take some arches. So you're going to stay the same in your front leg. Bring your left hand forward to meet your right. And then as you exhale, just like an archer would with their bow, you're going to draw your left elbow back and you can look back. Inhale, left arm meets right. Exhale, draw it back. Keep going like this for a few more breaths and pay attention to your front knee. Make sure that it's directly over the ankle and it's not swinging in towards the big toe. And then when you're drawing back, you're rotating through the torso and the elbow is staying at shoulder height. And take 2 more here. And then as you exhale, you're just going to take the hands down to the front of the mat. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. exhale to fold. Inhale, step the right leg back, drop the heel, line yourself up, heel to arch for warrior two, and then inhale, cartwheel yourself all the way open. So take a moment to set up your feet, sink nice and deep into that front knee, make sure it's over its ankle. And your torso is facing the long end of your mat. The back hip will turn in slightly. Take the band in the front hand, nice and strong shoulder height. Right hand will grab the band. Inhale here, and then exhale, start to draw that right arm back, keeping the elbow at the height of the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, draw it back. Inhale. My wrist was doing something funky, so make sure that you try and keep that front wrist pointing forward, even if that means you need to take a little bit less resistance in through the band. Our wrists are one of the more vulnerable joints in the body. We also use them a lot, so having a sore wrist is less than ideal. And take two more here. And then slowly step it back to the front of the mat. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Leave the band on the floor this time as you inhale. Sweep the arms all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhale, sweep it down. And then from here, we're just going to step back onto our knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, step the right knee back, drop it down. And then the left knee back and drop it down. So this next pose can be quite intense for people. So if it's not working for you, then don't take it. Just come into a seated position. You're going to tuck your toes under, and then you're going to start to sit back on the toes and sit onto the heels. So you might need a cushion there. You might only come this far. You might just sit on the top of your feet or in any other comfortable position. And then one more time, we're going to take that band a little bit wider than shoulder distance, pulling the band apart. Inhale, start to reach those hands up over the head, just as far as you can control that rib to hip connection. And then exhale, round it forward. Think of scooping out that belly. Two more times. Inhale, reach it all the way up. There's a lot of things going on here. Exhale, round it forward. Little bit of strength, little bit of spinal mobility, and you're probably definitely feeling your toes talking to you by now. Last time, inhale, reach it all the way up. Our feet are something that we often forget about. We stand on them all day. Exhale, roll it forward. And we don't often show them much love, but we need to. And then slowly release the band. Make your way onto your seat and extend your legs out in front of you. Your legs may be very, very bent. You may be sitting up on a cushion, whatever's working for you. Then we're just going to use the band as a little bit of a prop here. So inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. And then exhale, fold forward. Keep a nice long spine. So come forward only so far as you can keep the length in the spine, and then use the strap around the feet to gently pull you a little bit forward. So I would much prefer that you were all the way up here with a lovely long spine as opposed to forehead to knees, but you look like a banana. Maybe crawl yourself a little bit longer along the band. Draw yourself a little bit deeper. And then slowly unhook the band, roll yourself up. And we're just going to finish here with a simple twist. So make your way into a comfortable seated position. If it's available to you, try and cross your legs in a different way. So maybe you stack the knees on top of each other. Maybe you sweep the legs to one side and then the other side. Something that's a little bit different to open up your hips in a different way. So I'm going to take cow face pose where you stack the knees on top of each other, and we'll swap halfway through. Take your band, inhale, sweep it up overhead, and then as you exhale, you're going to twist towards the left. And then inhale here, nice and long through the spine. Exhale, draw the arms down behind you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Take one more inhale, and then this time as you exhale, just let go of the band. Take the hand to the outside of the left knee and gently twist yourself a little bit deeper. And then bring yourself back through center. And then you're just going to switch the cross of your legs, the sweep of your legs, whichever direction you were just in. Take it so that the other leg is on top or in front. And you'll notice the difference between the sides for sure. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, turn as far as you can to the right. Inhale here to gather length. Exhale, draw those arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, let go of the band and come and stay in the twist for a few breaths. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly unwind yourself. And then make your way into a comfortable position for you. So that might be lying on your back. It might be seated. Whatever is the most comfortable position for you to relax in. I invite you to close your eyes and once again bring the palms up to the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, hold it at the top. And then exhale through the mouth. And then just taking a few moments, even if it's just a minute, to check in with the body and how it's feeling, to reap the rewards of your practice and the time that you spent on yourself, knowing that no matter how much you did or did not do, it was exactly what you needed to do for today. Today, as you go forward, may you have calmness in your thoughts, peace in your words, and love in your heart. Namaste.